Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hanging with Danny Cobb at American Welding Laboratories. Danny, tell us about the school.
Well, Tommy, we're going on 3 years in operation. We teach all aspects of welding, from stick welding all the way to combination pipe.
So how's the job market these days?
Job market's wide open, whether you want to stay local or hit the road. As a licensed institution, we have access to many grants, including the GI Bill now.
Great. How do we get started?
Come by 4400 South 16th, take a tour, talk to our instructors.
It's American Welding Laboratories. Find out more at theweldinglab.com.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
There's plenty of people, fans and those that cover the sport alike, that are like, these are the teams that should have been in, and that's fine. Are these the games you want? No one can be sitting there going, you want these blowout games. But again, SMU and Indiana had company from Tennessee in a non-competitive spot as well.
We're going to have blowouts in these NFL games, too.
But the difference is there's a mechanism by where you qualify.
Because if there wasn't, you'd be voting.
If there's an NFL playoff committee, I'm figuring out how to get the Bengals in.
This is The Morning Rush.
Sure, Scott Van Pelt and Matt Hasselbeck talking about, or Tim, I think it is, talking about the games this weekend. Let me read you the scores. 27-17, 38-10, 38-24, 42-17. Tommy, do you think that is what the College Football Playoff Committee wanted in year one of the initial 12-team playoff?
Heck no. Heck no.
Sometimes that's just what you get.
They can't control the game.
Well,
They control the matchup. Now, we're assuming if Alabama had played, we're assuming if another SEC team had been there, it'd be a much better game.
Jeremy points out, he texted in this morning, belittling the SEC. Now, you don't tweet often, but I did see one of your tweets on, I guess, Saturday it was, Friday it was, Alabama versus Notre Dame, better than, greater than Indiana versus Notre Dame.
And here's where I'm coming from. Just entertain me. Because even if Alabama gets blown out, I'm far more entertained by Alabama getting blown out than Indiana getting blown out. Would you be?
I'd be happy as a claim. Yeah, no, I get it.
I'm just talking about my personal entertainment.
Are you getting tired? Is Kurt Signetti's stuff worn thin with you?
It has with Saban, clearly.
Well, I believe he used to coach for it.
Listen, do you pay a lot of attention to what the Indiana coach has to say? I sure don't. I mean, I'm not hanging on his every word. So.
Again, I come from the opinion of, if you're going to trash talk, back it up. He had a lot of hot takes. It is a hot take Monday.
Then you're not going to be able to say anything
fit right
ever.
in. I don't ever say anything.
Right.
I keep things to myself.
Right.
Eagleless Ty Richardson over here.
Eagleless.
Clay's going to join us in about 10 minutes. We'll see if he agrees with that statement or not. I did find out on Friday that Clay at one point did go Hundred Hocus, which is one of the greatest clips
I heard that story.
ever
well,
heard.
I mean, I was on the air when I heard that story.
I was going to say.
I was
going to say you're right next to him, but technically he's
exactly.
on the Comrex and everything. So, Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV.
Yeah, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Merry Christmas from Wheels RV. They've got the best brands like Grand Design and Forest River, Brinkley Model Z's all there, and they're ready to make your 25 memories even better with a great setup. You know, when you think about it, I know we're not thinking about outdoor kitchens and tailgating and those things, but when you're selecting an RV, think about all the extra amenities. They've got them and got those options available with Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
So a couple texts to get to. We got our opening drive coming up as well. Jamie May saying, I was surprised that Tennessee getting blown out. I was too. I thought Ohio State would lose this weekend. I'll give Tennessee fans credit. They traveled a lot up to Columbus. There was a lot of Tennessee orange in the horseshoe. Didn't matter. They win that game 42-17.
Ohio State wasn't losing to anybody this weekend. Didn't matter. Put any team you want in there. The way they played, mean, they weren't going to be beat. All the stuff with the fans and Ryan Day fueled that performance.
Mm-hmm. Ryan and Prairie Grove saying Notre Dame ain't playing around, boys. I still want to see what Notre Dame will do against some of the stiffer competition. They did their job. That game was not as close as it ended up being on the scoreboard. 27-17. That game was a 3-touchdown game for a good chunk of what happened in South Bend on Friday night, which I was really excited. Again, first Friday night college football playoff game, and just ended up being a dud, as did most of them the rest of the week. And hopefully they will be better starting in the quarterfinal matchups with this week. Of course, Arkansas football in action in Liberty Bowl. We're going to be down there. Can't wait for that. It's going to be a big week ahead. But hopefully things will be better. It has been a big day. You brought in your gumbo from this weekend. I had a bowl already. Christian, did you try it yet? Have you gotten a chance to eat it?
I'm going to wait a little closer to lunch.
I had it at 8:30 this morning. Again, I'm of the opinion of good food is good any time of the day.
Me too.
Chili. I mean, I've eaten chili dogs at 6:30 in the morning. It really doesn't matter to me whatsoever. I know that
What did you think?
I thought you did a really good job. What is I know there's shrimp in there. What is the main meat, though? Is that chicken?
Yeah.
Okay. I know some people
What do you
do.
think it was?
Well, it's covered in not broth. What do you call that? Roux. Yeah, it's covered in that stuff. So it's hard to tell. It was really good. I didn't really care what it was. You could have told me it was pig intestines, and I would say, man, that's good.
Okay, then it was pig intestines. No, it's chicken. It's Cajun sausage. It's shrimp. Be careful. I'm the one thing I wasn't happy with. I had some gumbo somewhere. I think it was maybe New Orleans, and they left the peels and the tails and and they were really good. So I thought I'd try to recreate that with some tails on shrimp. Didn't work out. So the only thing I'd say is be careful. The tails are still on the shrimp.
I don't know.
But the shrimp are good.
This is from.
You gotta be careful with the tails.
This is from Landman, so I have no idea if it's accurate or not. But remember when the waitress told Billy Bob Thornton's daughter that like weight loss pills, they grind up the shrimp tails to convince her to order the fried shrimp.
Oh.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I ended up eating the shrimp tail this morning. I thought about pulling it off, pulling the stem off and everything. I was like, I'll eat it. I need to lose some weight before the holidays.
Well, maybe. But other than that, I thought I did a darker, more Creole. If you saw the video on, it's on my Facebook page. You can go see it.
Look at you.
Put a bit, a little video of it.
Mr. Eddie, you and Eddie Jackson could do a.
Well, it's about 7. It was a 7 or 8 second video of me just stirring the pot of gumbo.
Okay.
But
Jamie says andouille sausage is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, whatever kind of sausage. I like a little lightly spiced Cajun sausage that I like. You brown that up. You put it in there. It's one of the things you had. Chicken. Boiled my own chicken and then deboned it.
What did your family think?
Well, you got the last bowl, so I'll just leave it at that.
So they didn't. Well, I'm saying, what did your family?
Well, you got the last bowl. So what does that tell you?
Good.
They didn't. They just thought it was okay. I don't know what it tells you.
Give me the crayons.
The rest.
That means he ate the rest of it.
You brought it. You said
Give me
like
the crayons
again.
over there.
There were some friends.
I saved the last bowl for you.
But you said you brought it over for friends. I know that guys in their 40s and 50s probably liked it, but I didn't know like from a family, like kids standpoint. That's all I was saying. Kids are picky. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, they love
kids like
when
it.
I make chili, gumbo, dumplings. They eat it up.
Justin is listening in the Delph this morning. He said his mom's side of the family is deep Cajun. Tried some scallops.
Ooh, I love scallops
in your gumbo. Brian says you made a dirtier version of gumbo. Gumbo.
Normally, I have used butter for my roux, but I used oil this time because I wanted a little darker roux. I don't normally make it that way, listen, I am not an experienced gumbo cook. That's probably the 10th or 12th pot I've ever made in my life.
Okay.
I have not made a lot of gumbo in my life. I've just kind of gotten into it the last two years or so.
I gotcha. All right, let's get into our opening drive this morning.
But it was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Big game. Let's hopefully win it. This feels different. Feels like we can win it. You know? There's some parity. Now that everybody can pay their players, Notre Dame has a shot. It's not just the SEC. It's not Coach Saban.
This is the opening drive presented by First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith.
You remember we had talked a couple weeks ago about our favorite comedians? That was the voice of Shane Gillis. He's a big-time Notre Dame fan. Okay. Were you introduced to him for the first time watching college? When you turn on your television Friday and you're seeing this kind of chubby guy who's decked out in a Rudy Notre Dame Letterman jacket, was that really the first time? Because me and Christian know who he is. And
Is he trying to be their Matthew McConaughey? Is that what he's trying to do?
I like him better. I mean,
that's fine, but is that what he's trying to do?
Yeah, he's
be their celebrity face.
Yeah, he's really well liked. He's hilarious. He says some off
famous enough.
He's some off the wall stuff. But was that the first time you're introduced to him for this week? So that clip was played, obviously, and Nick Saban took pretty heavy offense to that. Did you hear the follow-up at all?
No.
With Saban? Okay, you got to listen to this.
You called him a cheater earlier. I was just joking around. I don't think the SEC paid players ever. Period. I'm joking. Is this not a fun show? No. Serious show? Serious football. Alabama Jones is very serious.
No, I'm not serious.
Get the whip, Indy.
I do believe in integrity. Yeah, we try to run the program that way so players had a better chance to be successful in life.
I agree.
We make more money in the NFL than any other school, 61 players in the league. That was how we cheated. We developed players. We recruited.
I'm so sorry.
We're obviously doing a radio show right now, but you should see his face, how ticked off he was. And
I don't blame him.
This is a guy that will make fun of anything, anyone, anytime, anywhere. There are no out of bounds, no off limits. And I was laughing hysterically because I knew what he was doing. It was funny, but evidently Nick Saban. That was the entertainment value from Friday, not the actual game itself. That was the entertainment value.
But, no, I mean, you should take Saban seriously. I mean, Saban doesn't take that guy seriously, clearly. So,
do you think that
you're disrespecting all the work that Nick Saban did? Yeah. When you say stuff like that.
Yeah, but I mean, you honestly don't believe that he was clean and cut the entire time he's in Tuscaloosa, right? I mean, I don't believe that. I don't have any.
You're disrespecting all the. There's a lot more hard work and heavy lifting that went into what Nick Saban did.
Yeah.
What's this guy's name?
Shane Gillis.
Exactly. So, who is he to come on a college football show and disrespect Nick Saban? He didn't earn that right.
I don't think that in my opinion.
You asked my opinion. I gave it.
Look, again, you don't have to get hostile. That's your hot take, I guess. This morning, I thought it was hilarious, and again, that was the only entertainment value from Friday whatsoever because the game sucked. There wasn't any good game. I mean, Tommy, the best game of the weekend was Texas and Clemson, and that was it. And it wasn't even that. It wasn't even that good.
It was
Texas,
the best of the four.
Yeah, Texas ran everything, and you heard Scott Van Pelt. I mean, is the argument just because we have this like in the NFL? Is the argument just because, well, the NFL has a structure in place to try and create parity, and the other side, I don't remember how many committee members there are, but is the other side that they just
12, I believe.
Yeah, that it's just a committee. Is that why we're mad? Because there's blowouts that happen, like Hasselbeck said, there's blowouts that happen in the NFL playoffs. But we don't seem mad about that.
It's not just the committee; it's also the setup. It's the fact that Arizona State and Boise State have byes. Yeah. That's not right. It's because we don't fundamentally believe the 12 best teams in college football arrived in the final 12 teams selected. That's what we don't fundamentally believe. If you do, I'm sorry, we got a different opinion on what we think the best 12 teams in the game are this year.
Noah in Benville chimes in. Tommy, he's a comedian. Mark says it's what they do. That sounds soft, Tommy.
I don't care. That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. He didn't earn the right to come on there and basically take a shot at the integrity. It's one thing to make fun of someone, but to call out their integrity,
okay,
it's a different thing.
Different story. I'll tell you, he's got
the Grammys where they kind of go at people, or what's it called when they
just like a roast or something.
Yeah, like a roast.
Well, he roasted him right for all to see.
Yeah, sounded to me like Saban roasted him back.
Yeah, he got him back a little bit. All right, that is your opening drive here this morning. Clay Henry going to join us in just one sec. Got a chance to play some golf with Ethan this weekend. Want to wish him and his family a Merry Christmas. I know that he's rooting hard on his Steelers. They unfortunately fell to their rivals this week, but hopefully they'll bounce back. They got the Chiefs this weekend at home in the Steel Curtain, so hopefully they'll get that win. Ethan not only gives me great mortgage advice, he also gave me some good golf tips this weekend. Still shot 107, Tommy. So I would hope that
I've invited you over for some lessons a couple times.
Hasn't
yet to show up.
Hasn't happened just
yet.
Until
you're going to put the work in, it's not going to get.
We'll figure it out. Ethan's got over 300 5-star reviews on Google. First Financial Mortgage. You can give them a call at 479-782-9300 or online at ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you. equal housing lender.
All right, we're going to talk to Clay Henry here in just a second as we head to the Liberty Bowl on Friday, fourth time in 5 years that Sam Pittman's taking his Razorbacks to a bowl game, facing off, of course, with Texas Tech and the Red Raiders, the 66th annual Liberty Bowl. If you're still looking for tickets, you can go to ArkansasRazorbacks.com and find those for Friday's game at 6 o'clock and secure your seats and cheer on the Hogs in the Liberty Bowl this Friday. That's ArkansasRazorbacks.com. Clay, are you headed over? You going to Memphis for the game?
No, I think I'll just watch from the house. I mean, the view from there is really great.
ESPN Friday night, good setup, and we're Arkansas. And again, you played in this thing now 7 times, or this will be the 7th time. I
didn't play.
Yeah, the team did. It's 7th time that this squad will be playing at this. And Clay, last time it was a lot of up and down. I mean, with so many guys in and out, more Arkansas than Texas Tech. What are you kind of expecting to see on Friday?
I really don't know what to expect. I really don't know. I mean, is Braylon Russell going to play? I mean, is he
with the team? I'm not sure.
The big if is the quarterback play for Texas Tech. Their quarterback, I think, has had season-ending surgery, and that always affects. In fact, I think when that was announced, the line jumped around a little bit. Bowl games, I used to say, who's going to have their stinger? I don't know anymore. Who's going to? And maybe just how things play out. Are you working on things for next year, or are you going to stick with the status quo? Did you have enough practices to change anything? I watched the Ohio State game, and I was interested to hear, some thoughts about some things that they did with some broken keys that Ohio State put in for that game, where, they pulled linemen the opposite direction. In other words, you pull linemen, that keys linebackers which way to go, and they were false keys. And those were obviously things that they had put in since the Michigan game that helped their running game. And I've seen that through the years, and it could be, a change in the way your secondary is playing. Who does that, at this point in these bowl games? What are you working on? The portal recruiting has been what's taken up the time of the coaches in the last 2 weeks.
Well, you mentioned the portal, Tommy. You kind of alluded to it with Braylon Russell. So Braylon Russell apparently has jumped in twice, coming it back on 3 Sports. Figured it out, I guess, that he's withdrawn for the transfer portal. Then he put this out on social media. The love I have for Coach Pitt and the University of Arkansas is beyond words. With everything happening in my life, I initially lost sight of what truly matters. But through conversations with Coach Pitt, I've regained perspective. Thank you so much. I love you, Coach Pittman. So is that code words for he got paid again? And here's what I brought up last week with Richard. So think if you're a kid, you have a good season, or there's a bright horizon in your future and a bright future ahead for you, like Braylon. He's a big kid. He had a good Tennessee game, had a good game against Mississippi State, but he was banged up a little bit. Hopefully he's back for a full season next year. And someone offers you more money. You go to coach, say, hey, I got to offer this. Can you guys match it? And they either say yes or no, whatever the case may be. You enter the portal. Then they jump back in. They give you the offer, and then it comes back. Like, what do you do in this situation? Are you just supposed to stay
Tommy,
for less money over when you're getting offered consistently, if that's the case?
But we don't know. You just threw out a scenario that you don't know. And it may be that he put himself in the portal twice hoping to get an offer, and he didn't get one. He may be right where he was. First of all, running backs to me are not priced the same way some other positions are. I mean, if you look at the NFL, and you talked about, his season, and that's the way it is for a lot of running backs. You do not know if you're going to get a full season. It's likely that you don't. What's the life expectancy of a running back in the NFL? It's 2 years. KJ Jefferson got Rocket Sanders got a full season this year, but he hadn't been getting a full season. So you better be careful in how you spend money for running backs. And we do not know if if there was a bidding war, he might have thrown his name out there thinking, this is what I want, and nobody stepped up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're throwing out that it was a bidding war, but you don't know that, do you?
You're right. You're right. But
here's one thing we do know: his health has been in question, right? I mean, wasn't able to go.
Mm-hmm.
Texas game, and a lot of these guys that have went into the portal, and some that ended up at Ole Miss, their health has been, questionable. They've been off the field, and Russell's amongst those players that, listen, if you're a coach or a program out there and you have some depth at running back, which Arkansas does not, and that gives him leverage if your scenario is correct. But where he's really at, and maybe to just give you some insight, I don't know, to where he's really at from a health perspective, because that to me makes him less valuable in a marketplace, Clay, if his health's a bigger question mark than maybe we know.
Yeah, and back to my original point, running backs might in their own camp have a higher value on what they think they're worth than what SEC head coaches think they're worth. Mm-hmm. Running backs, looks like wide receivers, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, defensive ends, all of that seems to be a higher price value.
Yeah. And he could come back to Arkansas and be the bell cow. He could be the feature back,
you would think,
if healthy, at Arkansas based on the mass exodus we've had more
Built
or
some
less.
Equity. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives.
Got the kid from New Mexico State signed running back wise, so it just depends on kind of what he's thinking. But from just a girth standpoint, there's no one on the roster that has a body built like Braylon Russell whatsoever.
Yeah. All right, Merry Christmas from the Morning Rush and ESPN Arkansas. We're going to be live in Memphis. Ty will be at the Liberty Bowl coming up this Friday. We're going to be live from Big Cypress Lodge inside the Bass Pro Pyramid on Friday. They're bringing our coverage of the Liberty Bowl to you right here on ESPN Arkansas. So stop by and see Ty this Friday at Big Cypress Lodge, the iconic Memphis Pyramid. Also brought to you by Hyper Fiber. Choose their 1 gig plan and you'll get the fastest internet and more, including lightning fast upload speeds and download speeds for everything on the internet. That's Hyper Fiber. So all of that coming up. Clay's with us, courtesy of the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. We'll talk with Clay some more throughout the show. Also brought to you by Sassy's this morning. Last minute shopping. Guys, gift cards are about where you're at. If you're down to today and tomorrow, gift cards are perfect, and Sassy's gift cards are perfect stocking stuffers for a delicious meal anytime. Go to sassysbarbecue.com or see them at both locations in Fayetteville. Eat, drink, and be sassy.
Hog update coming up. Basketball team wins convincingly this weekend.
Coverage of the Liberty Bowl in Memphis is brought to you by Hyperfiber. Get the fastest deal of the year. Visit hyperfiber.com. It's also brought to you by Big Cypress Lodge. Camp inside the iconic Memphis Pyramid.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hog fans. This is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert. And we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. I should say it.
Say what?
Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time.
Okay, you can say it.
It's Christmas, everyone. And guess what, guys?
What?
Santa shop's here at the Stadium Shop. Oh, Lord, Mom. Here comes that dad side. Nope. I saw him. Matt, you still do believe in Santa, right? Sure. Believers do get more presents.
Okay, so what did he get?
Let me guess. A couch for the elves, collars for the reindeer, maybe even a hoodie for Frosty. You know how cold he gets being made of snow and all.
And let me guess, some Razorback jewelry for Mrs. Claus?
Well, yeah, Matt, you better get that Google machine all warmed up. He said he was going to be ordering some more stuff.
Google machine?
Yeah, you know, the interfacegram www. I think he's talking about our website, which you should know by now, Dad. It's shoponrazorback.com.
Or have Santa give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
So come by 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville, and you just might catch Santa Hog. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us. Ho, ho, ho.
Does that mean I'm an old fart?
This is the Morning Rush.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Swing into savings this Christmas at the Golf Nut with these unbeatable offers. Strixon ZX irons, up to $200 off, and Strixon golf balls. Buy 2 dozen, get 1 dozen free. Lessons are always a great idea for your golfer. Contact Matt Brooks to set up an appointment. From top-of-the-line equipment to stylish apparel, the Golf Nut has the perfect gift. Give the gift of a better game this Christmas at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. Shop now and make this season a hole-in-one.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Over the river and through the woods, to Salisaw we go. Mock Legal Solutions is opening a second location to serve our Eastern Oklahoma clients. 105 East Chickasaw. For divorce and custody, let us give you the Christmas gift of a new start. And for personal injury, we will get you a settlement check when Grandma gets run over by that reindeer. 918-238-2363. Or check out our website at mocklegalsolutions.com. Free intakes and payment plans available. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir. Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, shout out to Sandy and Muldrow's daughter, who got her a ticket for the Liberty Bowl for Christmas. Now, she has never been, and she's going to be going by herself. Guys, what does she need to know Going to stay in Memphis. Well, if you want somewhere to stay, Sandy, that's the Big Cypress Lodge. They got a $169 winter sale right now. What would be a good place to eat, Clay, on the way back if she's driving back to Muldrow, Oklahoma, you think?
You know, on I-40, you've got Nick's Catfish in Carlisle. That ain't bad.
Good spot. Yep, been there.
You know, they've got catfish and barbecue. You know, I've stopped there many times. And, I mean, you know, you get on into Little Rock or whatever, but gosh, you know, if it's the second day, you know, stop at CJ's in Russellville.
Stop by and see Keith and Sal and their team. That's always a good spot.
I mean, it ain't going to be a much better meal than that.
Nope.
Along the way.
So had a chance to watch the basketball team this weekend. They'll play tonight against Oakland. Last game before SEC play begins this Saturday in Knoxville. Or hold on,
Play the 30th.
I'm sorry, the next Saturday in Knoxville, I should say. But here is your setup as far as what happened last night. Arkansas ended up getting a 95-67 win. They did not cover for those that had money on the game, but did thoroughly dominate that basketball game on Saturday afternoon, Clay.
Yeah, I watched that. You know, the football is pretty boring. You know, you could tell pretty much the die was cast on every one of those games by about a quarter. I mean, I bet their ratings didn't nearly approach what they thought. So I just thought I'd tune in and watch Dave Neal and Joe Klein and see the Razorbacks. You know, they're about full force now. And I was writing a column on John Calipari and their Christmas party that they had for families. You know, they gave away the goodies to 16 families in Northwest Arkansas, and including a month's rent. They gave them all a check of a month's rent, a big screen TV, and then all the Nike gear that you can imagine. So I was working on that, and so I wanted to watch the basketball game.
Yeah, and the basketball game was about right in line with the football games as far as entertainment.
Yeah.
But as a Hog fan, that's what you wanted to see. And this Oakland game coming up on, what is the 30th?
It was all
Monday?
chalk. Yeah.
You know, you want to see that too. So I am still, and Ty can tell you, I've been on this when A&T starts playing, and I undervalued Brazil, but we're starting to see what this team can round into at some point down the road. I don't know if they've got the firepower to go win at Tennessee, but I think this is a team that can round into something that can threaten the Sweet 16 Elite 8 rounds at some point. I see the talent there, but it's just all got to come together, and the more A&T plays, the faster I think it's going to gel.
Yeah, the last piece to the puzzle now would be for the wrist of Nelly Davis to kind of heal up, and that they addressed that. I mean, I don't think he's got a new injury; it's just staying sore, so they held him out of that game Saturday. He didn't re-injure it; it's just kind of hanging in there. So that's kind of the way that's worked. So it's the team is going to be what we thought it was, in my opinion. I think they've got the right parts. I think the coach knows what he's doing, and he's putting them together in his way. And I'm excited. The other thing that happened this weekend, which was really a lot of fun, the way it finished up, was that PNC golf.
Yeah.
The father-son, and the playoff with Tiger and Longer and his, their two sons. I mean, it was, or maybe it was a grandson. It was terrific, and Charlie made a hole-in-one, which that was some nice spice for all of that. I loved it when Tiger's like, drinks are on you.
Yeah.
I got that clip. Yep.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that clip. Yeah, coming up in just a bit. All right, that's your Hog Update this morning, brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8
Yeah, the clip that Clay referenced right there is this.
Fine. I'm broke.
You're buying.
You're buying?
You're buying. Yes, buying. That's protocol. If I'm making a home run. I'm broke. You want out here and proud? A lot of people. I'm on you, but
I'm broke.
Yeah.
He's broke for what he thinks. What do you think he's making? How old is Charlie again?
15.
Yeah.
You think he's broke compared to other 15-year-olds out there?
Well, he's probably bought Christmas presents, so he might be broke right now.
Yeah.
I don't think he's got a job, boys.
Yeah, and I don't think his prospects of getting one are very high.
Yeah, but it was cool to see that.
Yeah.
Really good contact. This is a great looking shot if it's the right number. Oh, it is the right number. Charlie Woods has made an ace after 4.
And
he
really didn't know it at first. He's kind of looking around. I don't think he was playing that off. He just then he had to be told that he'd hit it and hold.
I think the green was a little bit elevated, and he could see where it hit, and it hits to the left. And he doesn't know at that point. He doesn't know that it's kicked right to the hole.
Yeah, and went right in. So, all right, we got plenty to get to here as we move through the show. If you haven't downloaded the Oakland Sports app, be sure and download that. New customers can earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. It's simple. Once you deposit, you're automatically enrolled in the promotion. You'll receive a second chance on your first bet each of the first 10 days up to $100. You can check out all the details on the Oakland Sports app. Download that in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Easy to fund as well with your debit or credit card, PayPal, Apple Pay, Venmo, ACH, and even on-site cash at Oakland as well. Arkansas's best sports betting app. Bet with the brand you trust anywhere in Arkansas. Bet with Oakland Sports.
Got our Morning Rush Daily question when we return here on a Hot Take Monday next.
It's Hot Take Monday on the Morning Rush. Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. I should say it.
Say what?
Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time.
Okay, you can say it.
It's Christmas, everyone, and guess what, guys?
What?
Santa shop's here at the Stadium Shop. Oh, Lord, Mom, here comes that dad side. Nope, I saw him, Matt. You still do believe in Santa, right? Sure. Believers do get more presents.
Okay, so what did he get?
Let me guess. A couch for the elves, collars for the reindeer, maybe even a hoodie for Frosty. You know how cold he gets being made of snow and all.
And let me guess, some Razorback jewelry for Mrs. Fogg?
Well, yeah, Matt, you better get that Google machine all warmed up. He said he was going to be ordering some more stuff.
Google machine?
Yeah, you know, the Interfacegram WW. I think he's talking about our website, which you should know by now, Dad. It's shoponrazorback.com.
Or have Santa give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
So come by 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville, and you just might catch Santa Hog. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us. Ho, ho, ho.
Come back here absolutely jacked and juiced. Let's go.
This is the Morning Rush.
To $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment has paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith. Todd Richardson live at Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental. Galen, 50 years.
This will be our 50th year in business. A lot of customers get us confused as only a rental place where they rent for proms and weddings, but we've classically been the men's store in Fort Smith, Arkansas. We try to be a little different. You can come in and look different at Rainwater's.
When you stop by, make sure to tell Gale and his staff that Ty sent you.
Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental, where it's fun to look good.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Whether you're planting a tree in your backyard or trenching at a construction site, a call to 811 helps prevent dangerous damage to underground utilities and is the first step in keeping yourself and your community safe. Hitting a line can knock out service to your home and neighborhood, resulting in fines, damages, serious injury, or worse. Safety is in your hands. Call 811 before you dig. It's easy, it's free, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Black Hills Energy.
Even though the holidays are almost here, there is still time to get results for your body with a personal trainer right here in the River Valley from Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill. Your choice for the results you want. Black Friday buy one, get one personal training specials. And new members get the rest of the year for free. Even more Black Friday specials to choose from. Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill on 71 North. Ask about our giveaway from our partner, First Form and Vortex Optics. Anytime Fitness on Rye Hill, ready to help you train for the body you deserve. Anytime Fitness. Rye Hill.
It's fall cleanup time at Gray Brothers Equipment. From the large M7 Series cab Kubotas to the L2502, the best-selling compact tractor in Arkansas and Oklahoma. Gray Brothers and Kubota will make your fall cleanup a breeze. With great pricing and interest rates as low as 0% for 84 months, they're making fall cleanup enjoyable again. At Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon. Now through 12/31/2024, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Time for the Carpat Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
Yeah, I don't want to get real heavy and philosophical here 2 days before Christmas, but this one's important. How do you set expectations for the Liberty Bowl in your own mind? How do you even know what to expect from your team this game? Texas Tech, stadium's under demolition, reconstruction, whatever. Crowd's going to be smaller. Don't know exactly who's going to play, exactly who's on the roster. How do you even
we do have a depth chart.
Well, we have a depth chart, but, I mean, that came out in the notes last week. But, Braylon Russell going to play? I mean, we don't know. I mean, there's still questions. So, how do you even go about? You've done this a lot longer than us. How do you even go about? But we're all still trying to figure out this portal and NIL world. How in the world do you even go about knowing what to think about this game?
The first thing you need to do is just skip that keys to the game crap.
Crap. That's your will.
Crap.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm joking. It's like that just goes to what you just said. I mean, how could you have keys to the game? Because you don't know. I mean, Texas Tech is breaking in 2 new coordinators. Mm-hmm. Their regular quarterbacks out. And you start to look at Arkansas's offensive line and the defensive line and the secondary. I looked at the players and, in the depth chart, there's some interesting things going on as far as the starters. But then you look at the backups, and if you get an injury here or there, I mean, it's like, who are those guys?
Yeah.
I'm honest. I've never been where you could throw out a number and I can't tell you what the guy's name is that wears that jersey. I mean, it's just, You tell me what jersey Selman Bridges wears. I know that he's a freshman cornerback, but if he ran on the field, I would not be. I will have to have. I kept the flip card from the last game because the roster numbers are there.
Mm-hmm.
It will be needed for this game. And, you watching the offensive line, it's going to be significant who plays center. That's the real issue to me. Addison Nichols opted out. Is going to go, went in the portal. He played 1 year, came from Tennessee. He was a portal guy. The portal giveth, the portal taketh. And then
Dallas,
you've got
SMU.
Brooks Edmondson and Joe Moore are your guys at center. And I think both of those guys, have kind of been in the rotation in practice. They've gotten a lot of snaps. The one good thing for Arkansas is that you've got your quarterback, and he seems to have been playing a little better. Texas Tech has struggled on defense. They've scored points, but they've given up points. So maybe the fact that they've lost their quarterback and Arkansas has played a little better on defense than some of the teams that they have played would lead, to a competitive game.
Yeah.
It's Texas Tech won 8 games. That's the difference. But you wonder, is the Big 12 not quite what the SEC is? Arkansas was finished in the middle of the pack in the SEC, won 3 games, beat a playoff team. That's the good part. But it still comes down to who wants to play, who wants to be there, who's excited to go play another game. And I can't tell you, the practices aren't open. I can't tell you who that is. I can't tell you who's excited, who likes their NIL deal, who knows what they're going to get. And I mean, those are all questions that I have, but I can't answer.
Ryan is expecting rain, which is going to rain early that day according to the weather app, and then also expecting Texas Tech to win by 21. He does not have high expectations.
Let's say Ryan's right, and they win by 21. Or let's say Arkansas wins by 21. Does this game and its outcome have any bearing, or should it have any influence on our expectations for 25?
No, I think it's just a lose-lose situation.
If you win, I don't know what it means. If you lose, I'm not sure it means much.
Yeah, that's not what I don't think it means a whole lot at all, Tommy. And I don't. I've heard all this talk. You fast forward into the next season, but the next season is going to include on probably 15 to 18 portal players that you're in your top 22. And if you get a portal player and he's not in your top 22, then you made a mistake. So, they've picked up, have they picked up over, right at a dozen already? And they're still going. And there's going to be guys that come into the portal after the playoffs are over. Some of these teams that are losing, those guys are going to start to show up in the portal. So you got another round to pick from. You'll have basically try to set your team and see what you've got in the spring. And then there's another portal session where there's going to be a few players leave, and then you're going to pick up a few more to fill in depth. So to say that this game has a bearing on next season is wrong, because this team is not going to be the team that plays.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Win or lose. I still
Yeah.
think.
So
if you win, no one cares. If you lose, then people are going to be furious.
The only
What it
difference
is, it's a chance to have a little entertainment and watch a football game. That's what it is.
7-6 just sounds better historically than
6 and 7.
That's about it.
All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Christian Nate wishing you a very Merry Christmas. You can check out all of what they have in Northwest Arkansas online at cartpasssocial.com. It's the #1 indoor golf facility in all of Arkansas. 2 Arkansas kids, BYOB. You pay per bay, not per person. And so you can have up to 8 people per bay, over 500 courses to choose from. Again, all online, and you can check out their social media, 122 Grant Place in Lowell.
All right, so that's some of our hot takes here on a Hot Take Monday, brought to you by Wheels RV. What are yours? You can call or text the show at 877-377-6963 here a couple of days before Christmas. And again, it's brought to you by Wheels RV. how's Coach getting around? I mean, hip surgery.
I think the first week is bad. The second week's a little better. I think he's moving around without a walker now, from what I've heard.
The
pain's gone.
Will he coach from the box
gone.
again? I would assume so.
It's how quick he is the. Can you protect yourself? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, if he should accidentally get run over on the sideline, which can happen.
It's 59 degrees. I know.
Well, I would worry more about him getting.
Well, I'm thinking more
contact.
of like the what he was dealing with and the snow and ice and what was going on in Columbia versus.
Well, he said he had to go off some medicine prior to the surgery, but man, I don't. With able coordinators, I don't know if I'd take the risk of getting hit again or getting hit and having some damage done to what I just had repaired.
And at least you have a game sample size of how that works. In that. Like him having to be up top. So
press box sounds good. Yeah,
I just think it's safer. I ain't worried about the weather or the rain or the temperature. I just
his ability to get away from people is reduced.
Getting out of the way, his mobility is. I would imagine he would be upstairs.
Clay, you brought up the couple players that Arkansas brought in. I think you said a dozen. So a couple recent ones that have signed with Arkansas. David Okey, who's a defensive lineman from Abilene Christian. I referenced Mike Washington earlier, who's a running back from New Mexico State. Quintavious Scandrett, who's a D-back from Eastern Michigan. Justin Boone, defensive lineman from Florida. And then Justin Young, who is a DB from Cincinnati. So continuing to add guys, and those are
more visits set up, yes.
Those are about 5 of the recent ones that Arkansas has signed, sealed, and delivered for this upcoming 2025 roster.
Yeah, I got a question. Listening to your commercial, Cart Path Social, and you can play games. You can play golf course. What happens if you make a hole-in-one in one of those deals?
I think Christian Nate put a video up on social of one of the customers hitting a hole-in-one. I don't know.
Do you count that as a hole-in-one?
In real life?
6. Yeah.
That's
do you add it to your total?
That's a better
or is
question.
it just an asterisk?
That's a better question for you and Tommy.
I think that's an asterisk.
Do you have one or two, Tommy?
I have one.
Clay, how many?
No, I have two. I got the one this summer. I got to see go in the hole.
Yeah.
I got one from years ago that was a blind tee shot that went in the hole.
Clay,
I counted.
How many do you have? You referenced
I've
one?
got 3.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I have one more that I don't count that Todd Dunaway saw. I was doing a club fitting, and the range was closed, and so we took the club heads and shafts and went out to a par 3, and we didn't play from a tee marker. We played from between the tee markers because we wanted a 150 shot. And the second club I tried, second head with the new shaft, it went in. Don't count that one, right? It's a practice shot.
We found
no, that's what I got. That's what I got. You're right.
Sold.
Yeah, you don't even look at anymore.
How much are they? Don't care.
No, that's what I want. I want that shaft, that head. Yeah,
that's an easy
that's what I've
right
got
there.
Yeah.
See, I mean, we count hole-in-ones on par 3s, but if you hole out a 8-iron or a 7-iron from the fairway, I mean, it's basically the same thing, but it doesn't count the same.
JT in Hot Springs says he's made 50 hole-in-ones on Tiger Woods golf. On the video game.
You owe us some drinks then, JT.
What is it? What's the spinning one, Tommy? Is it Golden Tee? Is that what I'm thinking of?
The old arcade game.
Does that count if you do a hole-in-one on that?
Depends how much you're playing
It's
for.
an asterisk.
Yep.
It's an asterisk. Okay. That's a good question. I never thought about that. Hopefully, I just text those two. Hopefully, they'll give me an answer when it comes to that. Let's see. What did Nate say? Nate says we count it.
Yep. Count the bucket. So
count the bucket.
Still got to hit it good.
Tommy's doing the and one motion.
In fact, I would say you have to hit it even better because the computer and the cameras and all that stuff is counting. I mean, it's got to be perfect for it to go in the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know one thing. You win the hole.
Yeah. Every time.
Yes, that is that definitely comes up. Again, if you missed it, Tiger Woods' son, Charlie, who's 15 years old, hit a hole-in-one this weekend. Here's what Charlie had to say about his dad being there.
The ace? Yeah, your first one apparently. And the thrill of doing that, especially here.
I mean, it was awesome having dad there, I was so much fun. And it was just a perfect 7-iron, little cut in there. Of course, I never got to see it go in. So that sucks, but it's all right.
I thought if you watch Tiger's reaction, he was more happy about that than any other hole or in any other major he's won, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. Patty Harrington made one too, and his dad's Patrick. Arrington. So 2 sons made hole-in-ones yesterday.
Hey, Merry Christmas from W&T Equipment. They have the best deals of the year, but time is running out to get the best deals and the best pricing on model year 2023 and select 24 model Workmaster and Boomer compact tractors. Right now, you can choose from 0% financing for up to 72 months or get up to $8,000 or $8,500 actually in cash back as well. And for a limited time, get a free loader when you buy and purchase your Harvest equipment right now. Harvest the best deals of the year during W&T Equipment's Value Bonanza. W&T Equipment, they're in Springdale, other locations around the state. Find them at WTEquip.com. They are your partner in progress.
Clay, they've had 2. You could be the third. You need to go out and check out Cart Pass Social. You could be the third hole-in-one.
Looking for easy holiday gifts for the grown-ups on your shopping list? You're in luck, and so are they. The Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is a winner wonderland. Scratch-off tickets make great gifts and start at only $1, and players win more than $1 million every day. Share the gift of winning with everyone on your list. Give scratch-offs. They're easy fun with a chance of easy money. Join the Winter Wonderland. Gift, scratch, and win today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Robert, and we're at the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. I should say it?
Say what?
Mom, I think he wants to say that it's Christmas time.
Okay, you can say it.
It's Christmas, everyone, and guess what, guys?
What?
Santa shop's here at the Stadium Shop. Oh, Lord, Mom, here comes that dad side. Nope, I saw him, Matt. You still do believe in Santa, right? Sure. Believers do get more presents.
Okay, so what did he get?
Let me guess. A couch for the elves, collars for the reindeer, maybe even a hoodie for Frosty. You know how cold he gets being made of snow and all.
And let me guess, some Razorback jewelry for Mrs. Claus?
Well, yeah, Matt, you better get that Google machine all warmed up. He said he was going to be ordering some more stuff.
Google machine?
Yeah, you know, the interfacegram WW.
I think
he's talking about our website, which you should know by now, Dad. It's shoponrazorback.com.
Or have Santa give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
So come by 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville, and you just might catch Santa Hog. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Ho, ho, ho.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor. We promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
With the new Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, $7 goes a long way. A cheesy gordita crunch stacked with layers of luxury. A Doritos Locos Tacos, extravagantly crispy. A beefy 5-layer burrito overflowing with cheesy indulgence. It's all you want and more. For less. The new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell. It's Lux for less.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper.
Riley Leonard and the Irish from their own two. Jeremiah breaks free.
This is The Morning Rush.
Pageantry, smack talk, television look was great. Product, unfortunately, was not this weekend when it came to the college football playoff. That was a 2-yard run from Love. I know our friend Zach Arns was hacky as Notre Dame advanced. Now they're heading to the quarterfinals of the college football playoff. But as a college football fan, you probably weren't because the games weren't any good. NFL-wise, Christian, congratulations to your Dallas Cowboys.
They got eliminated before the game.
Yes, and they still showed up. I'll give them credit. Kansas City won. They can
You said
still.
they were going to lose 3 in a row.
I did, and Patrick Mahomes played, and then my thought was just eradicated here on a Hot Take Monday. I hope now Bills still have a chance to host. They got to win the next two. Chiefs, I think, have to lose the next two. They go to Pittsburgh, and I forget where they close out their season. But yes, they got it done in typical Chiefs fashion, winning another one this year.
Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. The best brands, the best prices, and a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. It's all at Wheels RV. Again, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Looking on the Bet Saracen app, Friday's game, 6 o'clock. Arkansas favored by 1.5.
That line has been funky. Started Arkansas was favored by like 3. Then Texas Tech was favored. Then it became a pick'em game. Now Arkansas's favored again.
Yeah. Also looking at the college football playoff, I guess these would be the quarter round games, right? No, semifinal.
No, they're quarters.
Quarter
Yep.
round games.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State is favored by 10.5 over Boise State.
Wow.
Come
on, Broncos.
That will be the game on New Year's Eve at 6:30. New Year's Day, the Longhorns take on Arizona State. Arizona State catching 13.5 in that game. Ohio State and Oregon. This was the one you'd expect to be the tightest line, right?
Buckeyes
Oregon,
are favored?
Nope.
Oh.
Oregon favored, but 2.5. That will be the Rose Bowl game.
Man,
and then you mentioned the Fighting Irish taking on the Georgia Bulldogs. Guess that line.
I'm going to say Notre Dame's favored because Gunnar Stockton's in their QB.
Wrong.
Okay.
Georgia favored by 1.5.
Okay.
So those are the early lines at Bet Saracen for the college football playoff quarterfinals, and then the Razorbacks favored by 1.5 in the Liberty Bowl.
Well, you got a rematch of a game earlier this year in the Big Ten, and that Notre Dame-Georgia game should be spicy. Hopefully it is, unlike the games this weekend.
This hour of the Morning Rush is presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
So, does dramatic change need to happen, or are we making too much? Like, one of the the quarterfinal games are really good this weekend. Are we making too much out of happen? Because you and I agree, in the 12-team playoffs since 2014, I don't think there's been a single year that you've had a good championship and semifinal games. You've either had good semifinals or a good championship game. I think there's only been like 1 year that both have been good and entertaining. So, are we making too much out of the first weekend?
No,
and are we set up for
the process has to change, and you need to be vocal to get the process to change. And does anyone that's watched, the full season of college football believe that the 12 best teams in the game made the playoff bracket? I know that's a matter of opinion and perspective, but does anyone believe Arizona State's amongst the 12 best teams in the country?
Mm-mm.
Do you really believe Boise State's amongst the 12 best teams? I mean, is Clemson amongst the 12 best teams in the country? Now, you sit here and say, well, here comes the SEC homerism. I just don't like the process. I think we got too many teams involved here, but that's a different discussion. These are the rules of engagement. I just think the process should change. That depends on if you want these buys, depends on how you want the calendar set up. I don't know if the ratings have come out. I can't imagine college football did great in the ratings this weekend, or at least in comparison to the NFL. That's also a factor in all of this, but that's what's got to change. We need the 12 best teams. If you want to put conference champions for the Power Four in there, fine, because I think 12 best in conference in the conference champions and Power Four will generally be an okay scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Although I just question Clemson, they would
be a conference champion.
They would be a conference champion, but a conference champion, shouldn't be an automatic top 4 seed either. And I think that will get changed pretty quickly.
What do you think? 877-377-6963. And we can't have outcomes like this.
House call for Ohio State. 24 yards as the Buckeyes can begin planning for Pasadena.
That touchdown made it 42-10. The final score between Ohio State and Tennessee was 42-17. But I was just hoping, one good game this weekend be good. And of all of them, the game in Austin, Texas was the most entertaining. But it's even hard to use that phrase with what we saw because Texas controlled it throughout that football game. So I was a little frustrated because the buildup was great. I was genuinely excited for this new form that we had and just thoroughly disappointed. Like I said, hope the quarterfinals will bounce back. But if they're not good, like you said, if the ratings are down, TV will dictate to the college football playoff committee, hey, we've got to change this.
And I didn't watch a lot of the Texans and Texans Chiefs were on at the same time, and the second game was
Ravens,
Baltimore
Steelers.
and Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Pittsburgh and Baltimore. I didn't watch that close enough, but just looking at the scores, those weren't just juggernauts. It didn't look like. What was it 31-17? I think in the first one. I can't remember, but anyway,
it's 27-19 and 31-17 is the second one.
Okay,
yeah.
Second one's 31-17. I mean, so these weren't like yesterday's Washington game. It came
What
down
a
to the
game
very
that
end.
was. Yeah.
Wow.
Bruce Stan's happy.
Oh man. And
Dane Daniels 5 touchdowns.
Holy smokes! But bottom line is college football's got some tweaking to do. I don't think they need an overhaul, but there's some tweaking with what the rules of engagement are for the committee.
Big Mike chimes in. Georgia Tech is better than several of those teams. Ryan says South Carolina is better than the 4 teams in this thing, and I don't cheer for SEC teams. Hog fan, kind of like you're saying, drop it to 8 teams. Power 4 conference championships get in, but that does not guarantee them a top 4 spot.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand why we continue to maneuver and manipulate. I know this was the deal that had to be done to get the playoff created, beyond the 4 teams. So you had to make a deal to make it happen. But, there's some tweaking that's got to happen because this is foolish to think that Boise State and Arizona State are amongst the 4 best teams in the country. And when you tell me that's how we're seeding it, that are we really arriving at the true best team in college football with this format? No. There's some tweaking that has to be done.
Other bowl games interest you at all this week outside of Arkansas and Texas Tech?
I paid less attention to the other bowl games than I probably ever have before.
Mm-hmm. It just continues to dwindle as they continue to pump up this playoff because all the emphasis is on the final 12 teams, and now in the case of this weekend, the final 8 teams.
I don't know if the ratings reflect that or not. I mean, you watched the Gasparilla, wasn't Florida in the Gasparilla Bowl? I watched a little bit of that. I
couldn't tell you who won that game.
If I'm watching it, it's because I'm at a place and the TV's on, and that's,
I did watch Kentucky get smacked in basketball by Ohio State this weekend. That was great.
But I have found myself watching more college basketball than I have watching, bowl games.
Bowl games and stuff. And that goes into the idea of, like, the players don't seem to care as much about it. The coaches still, again, want to win and want to have momentum and whatnot. But going back to the question that Tommy asked earlier, like, what are you thinking about this game? It really is a lose-lose situation for Arkansas, in my opinion. If they win, I don't think many people will care, and that's not necessarily fair to Sam Pittman and staff, considering all the turnover. And if they lose, then obviously people are going to think it's the end of the world.
All right, this hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Sawyer Sunroom. Saw Buzz at the Foster Roofing Classic, as he was calling the Northside games. He's been around since 1990 in business, locally owned and operated, been in our community forever. Sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, windows, including decorative concrete, can all be done by Sawyer Sunrooms. Stop in their showroom sometime soon, 8605 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith, and see all they have to offer to make your home look even better. That's Sawyers-Sunrooms.com. Merry Christmas from Buzz Sawyer and Sawyer Sunrooms in Fort Smith.
SEC update coming up next.
Live coverage of the Liberty Bowl in Memphis is brought to you by Hyperfiber. Get the fastest deal of the year. Visit hyperfiber.com. It's also brought to you by Big Cypress Lodge. Camp inside the iconic Memphis Pyramid.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Well, here's a life lesson worth filing away. When hammer hits hand, hammer wins.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas. More than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
With the new Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, $7 goes a long way. A cheesy gordita crunch stacked with layers of luxury. A Doritos Locos Tacos, extravagantly crispy. A beefy 5-layer burrito overflowing with cheesy indulgence. It's all you want and more. For less. The new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell. It's Lux for less.
Thanks for watching us here.
Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote. Get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC has got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Springdale, Fort Smith, and now in Greenland. Always online at burtonpools.com.
Arkansas's got one more game before SEC play. They win convincingly 95-67. Quite a day for Jonas Adu.
Pick and roll. Adu inside. Missed the shot. Jonas gets his own rebound, though. Follows up and in. Jonas Adu with 7 early points. And Arkansas is up 10-3.
I know John Calipari was talking about after the game, getting these guys ready for this upcoming stretch of SEC play. Again, they'll play next Monday night against Oakland, and then they'll start SEC play that Saturday against the Tennessee Volunteers. Other SEC basketball notes, Kentucky, like I mentioned, got destroyed by Ohio State, 85-65. Auburn got another marquee win, beating Purdue by 18. Mississippi State upset Memphis, 79-65. And then Oklahoma beat UCA 89-66. Some notable games in college basketball from the conference this weekend. As far as football goes, could you even, and I had to look this up, do you guys even know the bowl matchups for SEC teams? I mean, you were talking about your lack of interest.
Yeah, Alabama plays Michigan.
Okay.
Is that in Orlando? I can't remember which bowl.
The ReliaQuest is in Tampa, isn't it?
Maybe. Okay. I mean, I don't.
LSU,
yeah,
Baylor.
It's in Tampa.
Yeah.
LSU and Baylor.
South Carolina, Illinois.
Okay. So the games this upcoming week, Oklahoma Navy, the games y'all mentioned, Georgia Tech plays Vanderbilt. That should be a good game. A&M against USC back in Vegas, where USC started the season beating LSU 6-6 for Lincoln Riley. Wolf. Iowa against Missouri. That should be a good one in the Music City Bowl. South Carolina and Illinois in the Citrus Bowl. That's a little intriguing to me. And then the college football playoff matchup-wise, you've got Texas at Arizona State and Notre Dame at Georgia. And then the final game, the Gator Bowl with Duke and Ole Miss. Better game, Texas and Arizona State or Notre Dame and Georgia? I think that's pretty easy.
Notre Dame
and Georgia, right?
I mean, I don't know. But, I mean, better. Do you mean more competitive in the fourth quarter? What do you mean by better game?
Probably, yeah, that.
I don't think
you don't know.
I don't know. I mean, you're guessing. I mean, you'd like it probably to be Notre Dame, Georgia, because they're two bigger brands.
Yeah,
be more. I would be entertained more, but I don't know. Georgia blowing out Notre Dame's pretty entertaining too. So I don't know. I mean, we're guessing if we say that, but should be more entertaining to watch Notre Dame and Georgia.
And that is your SEC update brought to you by our friends at Burton Pools and Spas.
Still time to purchase your new hot tub from Burton Pools and Spas before the new year and the holiday, and get de-stressed for less with a hot tub sale that's going to end at the end of the year. Melt away your stress with the world's best-selling hot tubs designed to rejuvenate your body and your mind. Save up to $7,000 right now. Plus, you get free local delivery, free installation, and free water testing. So treat yourself to pure relaxation with a hot tub from Burton Pools and Spas. At Burton's, they don't just sell hot tubs, they build long-term relationships. Find them in Fort Smith, Greenland, and in Springdale.
So we're about an hour and 20 minutes into the show, and I know that Phil Elson is going to spend a good chunk of time on this coming up on halftime, but Ricky Henderson passed away at the age of 65 this weekend. Here was his speech after the stolen base record. Really no one like him to ever come through baseball.
Took a long time, huh? I would like to thank God for giving me that opportunity. I want to thank the Haas family, the Oakland organization, City of Oakland, and all y'all beautiful fans for supporting me. I would like to thank my mom, my family, friend, and loved one for their support. I want to give my appreciation to the late Tom Trevorhorn and the late Billy Martin. Billy Martin was a great manager, a great friend to me. I love you, Billy. I wish he was here. Luke Brock was a symbol of great base stealing, but today I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you.
Over 3,000 hits and over 1,400 stolen bases in his career of 25 years in the majors. Averaged 121, or he averaged stolen bases wise 74 a year, Tommy.
Well, Cal Ripken's record of consecutive games is the safest record in all of sports. And Ricky Henderson's stolen base record is probably the second safest record in all of sports. I heard Tim Kirchin, I believe it was this weekend, or maybe it's Buster, I think it's Kirchin, talking this weekend about, the next closest active stolen base players at like 300 or it wasn't even, it was a fraction.
It's absurd.
So even with the larger bases, even with some of the rule changes, no one's ever going to approach the record that Ricky Henderson put up.
Yeah, Phil, I remember early stages of halftime, and then every once in a while when a clip or a highlight would come up, he would send me something. I was unaware of Ricky Henderson, and then he told me it's like always talked in third person, always, again, just a very entertaining baseball player. And like you said, his stats speak for himself when it comes to what he was able to accomplish in Major League Baseball.
He was the guy that stole nearly every one of those bases going in head first. I mean, you got to be a tough dude to slide in head first back in the old days. So, I mean, even in today's game, but particularly back then. So, tough little body that he had on him, and sad to see him gone at 65. But, once he stepped away from baseball, he wasn't one of these figures that really was putting himself out there. He wasn't on TV a lot. When he went off into the sunset, we didn't hear a lot more from Ricky in retirement.
Big Mike texted in, said Ricky is in his top 5. Alan texted in saying he got his rookie card. Again, Ricky Henderson dead at 65 years old, one of the greatest players to ever play Major League Baseball. I kind of want to continue on this unfortunate somber note. Tommy, I don't know if you saw the note this weekend of a manager that passed away with the Little Rock basketball team. He was a high school buddy of mine. His name is Josh Claxton. Went to the University of Arkansas. Was a part of Darrell Walker's program. Darrell Walker had this to say: "We lost a member of our Trojan family today. Josh was an unbelievable kid. The players loved him. The staff loved him, and he would do anything to help the team or coaches. Being a manager in whatever sport it is, football, basketball, baseball, is a thankless job. Josh loved it from sunup to sundown. He will be truly missed. This is a bad loss for the Trojan family, and my prayers go out to his family." They actually postponed their game this weekend on Saturday. Josh passed away on Friday night. I got a call Saturday morning from one of my best friends of high school, and he was just near tears. And we obviously just talked about Bob a few short weeks ago, and this happened. And Josh is in his 20s. I mean, Bob was 60-something years old, and then this happens. It's just, especially around the holidays, what I would say is, Tommy, you know this more than I do when it comes to your parents, but it's just one of those things. Life is short sometimes, and so when you're with your friends, family, and everyone around the holiday season, just make sure to say something a little bit additional this holiday, this time of year.
We were talking about that in our staff meeting this morning, that, we're all going to leave after work today and go our separate ways and be with our families. But, there's several of us here at work that aren't going to have family members that were there at Christmas ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel for them, because I've been there. There's someone listening right now that's going through that as well. And just feel for all of you that are dealing with that. Maybe the first holiday without a loved one. So when it happens right here days before Christmas, that makes it even harder. After Christmas, Ty, you're headed over to Memphis. We're going to be live from Big Cypress Lodge at the iconic Memphis Pyramid. It's brought to you by Big Cypress Lodge and Bass Pro Shops. They got complimentary amenities that include the shuttle to downtown area, the Sky High ride, the country's tallest freestanding elevator, and a lot more. See it all at Big Cypress Lodge. And by Hyper Fiber. If you're looking for a new internet option, they got 1 gig internet with a great price of $40 per month to get started for the first 2 months. You can lock that in, plus free installation before December 31st. Find out more at hyperfiber.com.
All right, when we return, Braylon Russell apparently back on the Arkansas football team. Let's talk about that next.
Now we're home for Christmas, so I'm going to answer one more question.
This is The Morning Rush.
Frosty the Snowman was a jolly happy soul.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
They're calling the Hogs at Madison Square Garden.
This is The Morning Rush.
It's countdown to Christmas sale time at Jelco Outdoors. Buy 1 item of clothing and get a second item of clothing of equal or lesser value at 50% off. Great brands like Ariat, Wrangler, Sitka, Drake, Pursuit Gear Scentlock, Under Armour, Non-Typical, and many more. Save 25% off all Yeti and Yukon Outfitter ice chests, coolers, tumblers, and cups. Hey Dude Footwear. Buy 1 pair, get a second pair 50% off. A Jelco gift card is always a perfect fit. Don't miss the countdown to Christmas sale. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
To $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Happy holidays from Sharp Equipment. You may be eligible to take advantage of the year-end tax credits with buying a new Wacker Newson before the new year. Sharp Equipment has excavators, skid steers, and other compact equipment in stock. Stop in at our yard location at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith to start your new year off right with a new Wacker Newson. Sharp Equipment, ready to serve you in all areas of Wacker Newson needs and more. Visit sharpequipment.com or call 479-649-0500.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Is someone special to you missing out on life because of foot pain? Let's face it, if your feet hurt, you don't want to go anywhere. Give the gift of freedom. Check out our store for all kinds of options to benefit your special someone. We have perfect gifts for those suffering from a variety of foot issues, such as plantar fasciitis, bunions, tendonitis, diabetes care, neuropathy, or just tired and achy feet. Visit us today at True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salad. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Unto us a child is given, and his name shall be Wonderful, Counselor, Emmanuel, God with us. Mike Blaylock with Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. From all of our families here at Blaylock, we would like to wish you and your family a very, very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hogs beat him back. Richmond to the rim. Layup good. And one.
Just making sure that they're going to be able to get back here on time the 26th, because we got a hard game the 30th, and then we start the truly grind of what this league is going to be. It starts shortly thereafter.
This is The Morning Rush.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
You know, I was listening to Cal in the postgame. That's kind of like us, Tommy. We're leaving after the shows today, coming back, getting the show back and ready for day after Christmas, and then back to normal. Getting ready for the Liberty Bowl, getting ready for the game on Monday, and then get ready for SEC play, which begins for Arkansas basketball that following Saturday.
I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but it's the grind and the pressure of finishing your current year, and then the resetting of all the pressure of, oh, no, I got a whole new mountain range to climb here in the next 12 months. So I think a lot of people are kind of that way. We'll have our Fence Man Friday picks coming up this Friday. We did those this past Friday. We'll find out kind of how we did. I think we were about 50-50, if I can kind of remember what we did, but we'll do that this Friday. Merry Christmas from the Fence Man, 782-3936, 479-782-3936, the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. Also brought to you by our friends at Farm Credit. Finding the right financing to remodel your current home or build a brand new one is easier than ever when you stop by one of Farm Credit of Western Arkansas's 25 locations and let their experts guide you from start to finish. Or you can log on at myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com to see all the financing options they offer. Farm Credit of Western Arkansas, making family dreams come true for more than 100 years.
Aaron texted in saying apparently he doesn't get a day off working at FedEx. He said he said that if they could work us on Christmas, they would.
I bet there will be some delivery people out
on Christmas. So
I hate that, but you know,
Waffle House is open on Christmas. We've done that once. What I'm trying to think, Walmart's not closed, or Walmart is closed on Christmas, I should say. What other businesses are open on Christmas Day that I'm not thinking about?
Gas stations, places, you know.
Okay.
All your emergency services, the government, police are still going to work, but you're right, there'll be some restaurants, but I think most retail places will be closed Christmas Day.
I've got some friends that you probably do too that are in the medical field, and they usually rotate. They usually rotate before Thanksgiving. If they get Thanksgiving off, they got to work Christmas, and vice versa. Some are, when they're early on in their career, guys and gals, they have to work both holidays. But again, it's kind of weird that it falls in on Wednesday, but it rotates each and I guess it falls on a Thursday next year. Christmas, right? Yeah. I looked it up next year. I don't know if you guys do this before we get with Brendan Searcy. When I look at a holiday and we kind of set up what our schedules are like, I then look at the next year and see what that is.
It is on a Thursday, so if you don't work Christmas Eve,
that's perfect, isn't it?
Well, no, because you're going to have to come back and work Friday one day. That stinks. I mean, you can't control where the calendar falls, but no, you got to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
We're working next
Monday, Tuesday.
We're working the
Wednesday,
26th.
Thursday. It stinks.
What's a least productive day? Today or the day after Christmas? The day before Christmas Eve or the day after Christmas?
Well, it's probably Christmas Eve if you're working. I mean, we've not always had Christmas Eve off. We do this year. We haven't always had that day off.
Just depending on bowl.
Depending on how the calendar falls, the
setup and everything. Brent's in Searcy this morning. Brent, Merry Christmas. What do you have for us?
Merry Christmas, Polly and Ty.
Good morning.
I want to tell you, Saturday, Friday and Saturday, could you have had any less compelling championship series games for football?
I don't think so, man. I'm sure ESPN and Max and all of them were not too happy about how those games transpired, to be honest.
I've got a suggestion.
Let's hear it.
Who was on the committee this year? Do y'all know anybody?
We got Hunter Yurchek, and I'm going to be honest, Tommy. I can't even name you the commissioner's name off the top of my head.
We had the director on, retired military that from the Air Force Academy, played for Ken Hatfield. He was on with us at SEC Media Days and took Bill Hancock's spot. Now, he's not on the committee, but oversees that process. But Hunter Yurchek's the one you would know more than anything.
Well, he for sure knows nothing about football. So they just need to take the top four from the four major conferences and go with it.
Okay.
And forget about. Let's go to 16 teams. Get the top four from each of the big four conferences and go with it. And have a national championship game between the non-Power 5 schools.
Yeah.
So screw the little guy. Not a single little guy in that mix, Brent.
We saw what little guys do this weekend.
Yeah.
We saw what little guys.
So if I told you that I don't know, Gary Pinkel was one of these guys, would you trust Gary Pinkel's football acumen?
I would trust his acumen. Yes, I would.
How about Carla Williams or Kelly Whiteside?
Heavens no, I've never heard of those two ladies.
Jim Grove, who is nearly your coach here, by the way. Chris Alt. Those are some of the people that are on your committee.
Well, the issue is
I would trust them. I would trust him. I would trust Gary Pinkel. I would. But what in the world and I don't mean this bad, some of those people don't know what they're looking at when they cut on a game.
Should be a required time. Brent, appreciate the call, buddy. Merry Christmas. I don't disagree with you. Should it be a requirement that you have to be a former coach? I mean, you have administrators that I get are needed for their acumen, but it's not necessarily football acumen. It's other stuff. I don't understand why. And I know coaches have allegiances and they have ties and everything else, but if you had a choice, wouldn't you want Nick Saban to pick out like 12 coaches? Hey, to figure this thing out,
I think there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
You think so?
I mean, I think a committee of 5 would be probably
better?
preferred.
Okay, so you'd want to shrink it
get
rather
the best football minds. I mean, Nick Saban could be the chairman of that committee, and that would be fine.
But then people would say, well, he's just going to get Alabama in each and every year. That would be the argument against Nick Saban on top.
See, I think Nick Saban has more integrity than that. I mean, everybody assumes everybody's going to overreach and overextend their bias. Why can't people just – why is it so impossible to believe that everyone but me, can look at things objectively? Because Nick Saban can? Because anytime you don't get the result you want, well, there was a bias involved. Well, maybe just somebody else was better.
Okay,
maybe someone else had a better resume.
Okay, here's what I would say in that case. Do you believe that political journalism exists today?
I'm not talking about journalism.
But I'm talking about like what you're coming from is that like people that they wouldn't use bias in a selection like this or not. Bias exists. What's disingenuous and when you say that you don't have a bias and that you're not impacted by either past or current stuff. So I think it exists in every single decision made. And it's
I disagree.
I don't think you can be like an unbiased down the road middle person. I
take every judge, every police officer, every politician, every coach, everyone that has a microphone in their hand.
Yes,
they make all their decisions based on bias. They don't make it based on what they see and the data.
I think it impacts you in some way. In some way, it's a little. In some ways, it's a lot. For some people, it affects them a little bit. And others, it affects them a lot.
And let's find 5 people that don't let their bias overwhelm and override everything they do. I mean, just to assume somebody's going to be, that their bias is going to determine everything that's pretty short-sighted.
I don't think so, because I've seen it play out over and over and over again in my life. And I don't think that college football is immune to the idea, based on life, existence.
It probably
and how
plays.
people
Well, we're talking about sports. Where in sports does a bias, over and over and over? This should be easy if it happens over and over.
It's traditionally been Alabama and other brand programs getting the nod when it comes to resumes and maybe the equivalent, and in some cases they haven't earned it. Now that's why the Alabama not getting in this year was so jarring for people, because
I'm fine
they
with
have and again, I was fine with it at the time as the game played out on Friday and the SMU game played out, which I was rooting for Rhett Lashley. They got their ass kicked. So it's just maybe that's, and James Franklin won a big game. Got to give him credit there. But that was such an odd thing to see, that Alabama was not included and a part of it. And I think was the
bias.
What they try. Well, it is. It's an against it SEC bias. I mean, it's not just for the SEC. It's against it.
So you crawled in all these committee members' head. You were in the room and you heard the bias. You know the bias. Well, no, you're assuming bias. You don't know anything. But you're assuming it.
So you don't think bias exists in that room in some way?
Either way, there's
then my take is not short-sighted either.
No, I'm saying the fewer people you get, the less bias that's involved.
And I don't disagree with that.
And I think you get people that don't have to excuse themselves from the room. You try to find the right people that you trust their football. I mean,
yes, it's not going to be perfect.
Huh?
It's not going to be perfect.
It's that. Well, I mean, yeah, because no one's going to agree. Because why would an Alabama fan or why would a Ohio State fan disagree with the outcome? Why would that be? Because they have a bias.
Yeah.
Because they have a rooting interest.
Some text on this. Ty Richardson should be on the committee. That comes from JT. Josh says preseason rankings are always biased. Mike says he could sell you oceanfront property in the desert.
If there's some that exist, I'm interested.
But what do you do?
I'm going
for non-college football fans to find non-bias?
I'm just saying that this idea that everyone in the world operates from bias and bias overrides everything, I just don't think it's true.
By the way, Chinese restaurants are open on Christmas. That's another that's another business that is that Ben's listening in Little Rock. He said he's going to be listening to us on Thursday from Gulf Shores, Alabama. I'm not a big traveling for Christmas guy.
Not enough time.
Mm-mm.
That's a good point. What about when the computers were doing it?
Were they biased? Were the computers biased?
That's the best way to do it.
See, you're coming from the perspective of shrink it to make it less biased. I think, again, I've advocated for this. The BCS formula, use it now, because you have so many different rankings and
but you didn't have football minds involved. You didn't have people that had football acumen. Who would you rather trust? Nick Saban and a hand-selected committee of football experts, or trust people that, while you increase the number by having journalists and media and people of that, coaches polls, that thing, there's several hundred votes involved. That does diminish any individual bias, but the eye test, doesn't rise to the top.
I think
not all schedules are created equal. The problem is, as sports fans, we're in love with undefeated. When undefeated doesn't always mean you're good,
and that's true.
And that's a big bias. Well, they're having a 12-0 record. Well, that doesn't mean they're as good as the team that's 11-1. That doesn't mean they're as good as the team that's 10-2.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't.
Mr. Pibb says we had computers doing it, and no one liked that either.
No, because they didn't get the outcome.
What
they
is
wanted.
the solution?
Everyone has a bias that, hey, I want the outcome that favors my team, my agenda, and now, more importantly than ever, my gambling ticket.
That's true.
That's the problem. Everyone that claims bias is already biased.
So I think we can all agree the games weren't entertained this weekend. There was some entertainment value that came out, including Nick Saban had some comments on some certain fans, which I thought was funny.
Why do you care about what some guy puts on the internet who's a fat guy in his underwear living in his mother's basement? Jeez. Why do you care?
Why do you care?
The first round is naturally going to be most of the time less entertaining. You're kind of weeding out the weaker teams of the field, so to speak. I think after the round one, you're going to see a lot more entertaining games. Just be patient.
But why am I wrong to say let's just put the 12 best teams in college football in there?
Because I think everyone has a different opinion on what those 12 best
biased.
are.
They're biased because, we got to get the little guy in there. We got to get the Boise State in there. We got to get the group of 6 in there. Well, where else in life does it work that way? You know who wins in life? The 12 best. Not the 13th, not the 14th, not the 15th. That's how life works.
Mm-hmm.
I
feel like I'm on trial or I'm getting yelled at.
You're disrespectful for the teams that have a rightful argument, a righteous argument to be in there. But we're gonna put someone in because we've got to include the little guy. Well, the little guy needs to get better. That's why I love golf.
Kick rocks.
The score is what it is.
But what about like handicaps?
Maybe they will get better over time.
Hold on.
Handicaps are a whole different kind. I'm talking about golf. You line up 100 guys, you go out and play, and the 12 best scorers qualify for the U.S. Open. There's no handicaps. There's no handicaps on the PGA Tour. It is what it is. Your score, yourself. You can't blame the coach. You can't blame the referee. You can't blame. You just go win. You lose.
Can you blame your irons?
Well, I mean, but who
driver?
Who swung them? And I just wish we could just all come to a common mindset that the best teams should be in, not necessarily some other agenda rule of the day.
Tim's in Benville. Tim, do you have bias here at 1044 on the Morning Rush?
We all have bias, conscious or unconscious. There's just no way around it. And he brought up that analogy of the 100 golfers. How many of those 100 golfers are going to have bias? I'd say probably 100 of them. So I totally agree with you, Ty. I mean, the only people that don't believe in bias probably voted for Harris. So that's just obvious. There's bias in every level of society, and it's no different in football. I don't care who.
But why is it always
that
the bias was the overwhelming factor? They decided solely on bias, not on record, not on merit, not on the eye test. Why couldn't we have 5 agreed upon experts that could look at this? Because clearly the way we're doing it now is leading to even more argument.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just giving my opinion, guys. Have a good morning.
Merry Christmas.
Wouldn't you rather
Merry
have
Christmas,
Nick Saban
Tim.
and 4 other hand-selected football experts make the decision?
If I had my choice, I would rather have the BCS than Saban and 4 others, to be honest.
I'd just soon have Nick Saban by himself.
I think he would be harder on Alabama. I don't think
he'd be biased against him.
He'd be the dad. You know how
he's not coaching anymore.
There's 2 types of dads, right? You've got the dad that is extra hard on his son as a coach, and then you've got the one that gives his, and I'm just equating this to like a father-son relationship, or you've got the one that gives his son special treatment. So you think he's the first one, Big C. You think he's the one that
100%,
that is the
100%.
Extra is additionally tougher
Coach's
on
kid's gonna have to work harder.
He knows that there's going to be backlash, but he doesn't care. I think he's still that type of person. Like he would leave them out if they're on the brink.
Mm-hmm. Joe agrees with you, Tommy. Seth does not. So we've got this is good back and forth.
Put the 12. My only bias in this is let's just put the 12 best teams in, and if my team's one of them, which they're not right now, obviously, then I'm happy. The argument's going to be if you're team 13, 14, 15, you're always going to feel like there was a bias against me or my conference or my part of the country or my coach or my school or whatever. Because it can't just be I wasn't good enough. I should have won one more game. Because why did Alabama ultimately not get in this year? Well, hell, they should have beat Vanderbilt, right? That'd have been a help, right?
The Oklahoma loss.
The Oklahoma loss. If they'd won one of those 2 games, they're in the playoffs.
If Saban
now,
was
is that
coaching,
a bias or is that a reality?
I'm biased, but I think you're a good boss. We'll let the courts decide
that's
on that.
fine. The reality is Alabama beat Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't like. I think Alabama, even with those 2 damning losses, are still better than some of the teams that got at the tail end. But that's an argument for another day. But the reality is, who beat Alabama? Well, Alabama did because they let Vanderbilt know you beat them.
I did, as we change the subject again, if you've got some thoughts on this, on bias or anything else going on, you can jump in here, 877-377-6963. I did see a recent poll, Tommy. This is from Atlas Van Line's migration pattern study. You know, Arkansas was the most popular state to move into in 2024.
Really?
They cited
that
by
sounds biased.
job opportunities,
Yeah, it might be a little
affordability,
biased.
It's cost of living.
and proximity to family.
And when people, central part of the country, and there's job opportunities, like you said, but when you get here, you realize, hey, this isn't such a backwards place with nothing going on.
How do we still have that reputation in 2024? That's what I don't understand.
Bias. It's bias.
It's bias. Well, what I don't get is it's like because of social media, because of the internet and everything else, you would think that view of Arkansas would be just done by this time, and it's still not. I don't know, like when your interactions in New York, when you told, do you interact with strangers?
No.
Okay.
I'm on the Ruskin plan. No.
Whenever I go somewhere, I always try and just have conversations, bar, restaurant, whatever. And they always ask, hey, where are you from? And I tell them I'm from Arkansas. Sometimes it's, I've been to so-and-so. Other times it's, they look down at my feet. It's the first thing they do. It's like, you're wearing shoes. I just don't understand how that still holds up in 2024 is the thought. Tyler is in Mountain View this morning. He's got some thoughts on bias. Go ahead, Tyler.
Guys, I think that just the system in general, like why college basketball's got it figured out. Why can we not get a quadrant system in there and rank the wins and make it? I mean, it's not. It shouldn't be as difficult as it is. And of course, everybody's going to want certain teams to win. And if you're letting people who are you're letting athletic directors from conferences be in on the committee, there's going to be biases, but make it a quadrant system. Make it simple.
Can you do that with 12 teams, or is it just because Tyler? That's not a bad thought at all.
Question is, do we need a committee as big as the field?
Do we need a committee as big as the field, like 68 people for basketball, or are we talking about for football?
For football.
Okay.
I don't know how many are on the. I think it's 16 that are maybe on the basketball committee. But do we need a committee that big to really evaluate? How many teams are you really evaluating for the college football playoff? 25, and the committee's got a job of filling the other bowl games too beyond the playoff games. But I think maybe the committee's footprint maybe is a little too large. I mean, you really don't have that many teams to evaluate like you do in basketball.
That is true. Yeah. That is very true. I did not know that bias would be the buzzword of today's Hot Take Monday, but here we are at 10:50 this morning.
One thing that your bias may lead you to is the beautiful scenes of North Central Arkansas and Gaston's. Now, listen, quick word for them here, and then we got other things to get on to before we close the show, but gift cards, perfect gift, holiday time, New Year's Eve, also Valentine's Day, not far after the New Year's. Gift cards are the perfect gift. Probably can't get them to you right now before Christmas Day, but if you're in the area, you're near Baxter or Marion County, you can drive over and get those, and they can have them ready for you, or you can call and they'll get them on their way to you. Maybe they can email you something you can get until that actually arrives. 870-431-5202 for our friends at Gaston's White River Resort.
All right, so couple things here to round out the show this morning. Braylon Russell, Tommy, apparently back on the football team.
You tell me. Have you?
I'm exhausted. I can't.
Have you decrypted? Have we found the decoder for his tweets? It appears he's back in the fold.
He's regained perspective, apparently, according to his tweet. But he's withdrawn.
The competing bids weren't high enough.
He's withdrawn his name for the second time, and we were kind of talking about that. It's pure speculation on our part. I can't call Braylon up and ask him what happened. I can't call Pittman up and ask him what happened. And I think we advocate for transparency and stuff like this, and we're just sitting here or amongst our text groups or just wondering what's going on behind the scenes with stuff like this. But you'd rather have them.
They put us in a place to just assume it's about money. That's not our fault for going there.
No, I don't think so either. And
that's put us in that place.
And we immediately, and I think I saw something, if I remember this correctly, I think maybe it was Pete Nankos, maybe it was someone else. I thought he was going to take a visit to Ole Miss. So that would have been.
Maybe they're out of money.
It might be.
Maybe they're over their quota on Arkansas football players.
They've been getting guys left and right. They've already got 3 of them. Hopefully there's not anyone else on the roster. But you ask a fair question. I mean, the running back depth chart listed Roddy Hill, And then Tyrell Reed, I mean, it's Braylon. I would think if he's on the
healthy,
team and playing,
he's one, right?
Yeah, he'd be the one. But
maybe that's why the line has shifted in Arkansas's favor now.
Because he's playing, have some running back depth. I'm curious.
Well, I mean, you got a lot better chance of winning with a healthy Braylon Russell
you're
than
100% accurate.
I mean,
is he even going to play?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Now we'll start getting some answers. I haven't memorized it. We got an email about when Pittman's going to be available and the availabilities as we move
today
through
at
the
4:30.
week. Oh, so maybe we'll get some answers a little bit later on.
Ryan in Prairie Grove, Hacker says maybe it's as simple as Braylon Russell liking the new offensive line that he's expected to run behind. I don't know. I'm going to guess that's.
I'm going to move on to the next.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that's
guest.
not it. Hacker could be it, but I'm going to guess that's not it. Scott said he did visit Ole Miss, so again, it's really hard to. I feel like I do my best to keep up with stuff, but it's sometimes hard with everyone going back and forth here and there.
All right, Hot Take Monday been brought to you by our friends at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Hey, a sincere Merry Christmas from Chris and Lee J and the entire crew at Wheels RV. They'll be ready for you after Christmas to take care of all of your RV needs. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale.
Merry Christmas from all of us at the Morning Rush. Halftime, Phil Elson, Matt Jones coming up next, and Ruskin and Zach follows the guys. Y'all have a great week. We're back tomorrow, or we're back on Thursday morning.
When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936. The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest in